There we are. Good morning. Need my chair over here. Yes. Preparation. Hope everyone's doing well. It's 5:15 in the morning on Thursday. Like that matters, right? March 17th. Of course, you got a million things going on through your head until you're ready to say them. Yes. This reading is a story about rebirth from the end and the beginning at once. So I'm listening to my mother yesterday. She was talking to my brother, and for the first time, but I don't know, he's the youngest, and I've been away from home well, obviously I was all home until I wasn't, so I was 18, but my brother's 15 years younger than me, so he was just like 4 or 5 when I started moving away, go to college, come back, whatever, and there's such an age gap, like, it wasn't until, like, I was married the second time that he was, like, starting to be I don't know how to put it, like in his early 20s maybe. And so he's just exploring the world, and he's just for whatever, and just popping by, more like I do now, and just never know what it's going to be. And so it's like cool to hang out. I mean, now he's starting to get stable at the same time as, his first car, all this stuff. But it's weird. Like, nobody has an age set, like, when anything begins. So he's about 30. And 28. Shit, I don't even know. I think he'll be 29 on May Day. Well, and he tells my mom was talking the way she does to me, but the way that I come at it, just naturally who I am, like, somehow we get on each other's nerves. Even though we're like, I don't know, we agree. Because pain and suffering is the same, whether you don't have very much experience or you have a lot of experience. And everyone wants to be seen. A little stuffy today. Maybe that's the drink I had last night. I couldn't feel better though. So he starts telling her, like, she's talking about this and that, and she's like, "Oh, come on, you ain't gotta be so dramatic. Come on, no, you're being dramatic. No, that's not true." And she doesn't ever get mad at him. But something she said, I saw it from a new perspective, because I was, like, in the room, like, cleaning, organizing, when he came over, because we were talking about trumpets. And each of us has this wounded part that I'll allude to by what she was saying. She said, "I was never supposed to be born. I've lived a hard life. They even went to whatever clinic or something and tried to get me aborted. But I'm a tough bitch. I'm a bad motherfucker. And it's been a hard life. Nobody ever wanted me." Like, you can see my brother's like, "You're being a little dramatic." No, that's not true. Yeah. We're right here, Mom. Like, You were wanted. We want you right now. Like, but that's ironic that she says that. Like my friend Obi, he was born with an umbilical cord around his throat. And so, like, that was his story, too. The odds are all against us. Well, no matter how good things get from here looking at me, you know, it's the same. The odds are all against us. Shit, who else had to learn the fucking dictionary, astrophysics, all this stuff, just to get back to square one, basics? What good is all that? It's priceless. And the more odds that are stacked against a person, then actually the greater your success story. And I think in a weird way, that now shows me insight as to why maybe certain characters that are born or at some point have a huge disadvantage, but you just let them rot in the corner as a body stuck to the couch, or the system does grant one person, like, here's a wheelchair. It's got a built-in laptop. This is a $10,000 laptop. This laptop could do anything. You could fly to the moon on this laptop. Like, here, we'll install a ramp to get you out the front of your house, and we'll get your folks or even yourself a van that makes it so that you can drive and get you where you want to go, even if it's just to go get your medical card. And you're gonna come home, you're gonna smoke weed every day and start becoming a rapper, or doing videos on, well, oh no, I can get around. My hobby is this. I've always wanted to do that. And then that becomes their life dream. And then that becomes their thing. Everybody's like, oh my God. And nobody would have known what to say before. And every single one of us is that crippled bastard that just can't do anything. Ultimately, there's no advantage. Having a pretty face, that's a disadvantage. Having a powerful name, that's a disadvantage. Um, Having no name at all, that's a disadvantage. Having a sob story, that's a disadvantage. Having a triumphant story, that's a disadvantage. But by the grace of God, we're still here. It starts with Hecka, the alchemical force. And that's to say, when we set our hearts on something, the Spirit weaves the path before us and uses the stuff in our past to propel us. Along with that, we begin with the wisdom that comes from the experiences and taking note of them, which goes along with almost the alchemical force, because here we have these flowers and this flower on her head and taking the notes. One could see this as the alchemical force, which can and will involve all things, whether they're cards, whether they're substances, whether there are relationships. Because all things are the relationships with ourselves, as the definition of a drug is anything that causes a chemical change on the body. Well, oxygen is a drug. Looking out of your eyeballs and seeing this light is a drug. Hearing a person's voice is a drug. Which brings us to Anubis, the transformative power of balancing the heart with the feather in the weight of all things and revealing the evolution. down your fears and your desires and face them. Overcome all obstacles. And if there's nowhere to be, and ultimately have your heart set on at least one thing, and it will get you there. Because everything else will be used in order to achieve that to create that bridge. We have 2 cards add up to 30 this morning. We have 14, the Great Procession, from the source, creating solutions, creating success, excuse me. And we have enthusiasm, number 16, that was yesterday. It's fruitful to set up feudal lords and mobilize armies. And that just means using what's in our backpack, our connections, to, I don't want to say to the greatest advantage or benefit, because that's not how it works. But being available and present in the moment and evolving with the situation as it unfolds. And that's business. Today we have Canaz. If you have an arrow the other way, it's not equal with it, but this is half of desire, which is Jeru. Half of that is creativity. But in a sense, this is taking, if desire is going both directions, if it's being stuck in the moment, you take part of it, the other arrow, within oneself, and you let the desire propel you. Or that it's kind of actually the greater and lesser than symbols. So whatever is held against you becomes what propels you forward, and all the fuel in your tank goes towards one end. It's not an end because it's about the journey. You're just riding the lightning. So we have creativity, fire, and insight. For those that wish they were never born, everyone knows that, the feeling of that. And if they don't, some part of them wishes that they did. So that, because the soul doesn't feel fulfilled unless it's almost in competition with itself. It finds out, what? That person knows what it's like to be beat to death? Man, that's terrible. I don't want to feel it. I kind of want to witness it. I kind of want to know what it's like. That's weird. Right? Hence, you could say some of the things, some of the atrocities that were carried out as corporal punishment and such things throughout the ages. Because of the spirit of people wanted to. And at the same time, the soul of all is evolving at once. And until there's been enough of it, once there's enough of it, and the spirit just cuts it off, says, okay, we've learned. And sometimes all it is the curiosity. It's not that it signifies any particular attribute about a person, but every person should have gotten curious enough, I believe, to have gone to the internet and be like, it seems really weird and creepy, almost like worse than if you're looking at porn. I want to see what it's like in all these terrible situations. Maybe in the emergency room, maybe a live suicide, maybe people trapped and crushed and just terrible. Well, what it was like seconds before the atomic bomb. Every soul needs that to really understand the magnitude of what it took to get you here. All that suffering went into your existence. So don't let it go to waste. And don't carry out that suffering onto others. Everyone is suffering. So we have synergy. So I was talking about the two arrows. It says, a problem shared is a problem halved. Interaction of two or more agents working mutually toward a goal. Whether it's one half of your soul, the part where you're there, or it's, you could say, the shadow, almost like the vacuum, the negative aspect of what is missing. It's that hole that seeks. It says, I need experience. I'm drowning, even though I have everything I need. I can go eat. I have everything I need, but something's missing. Each must overcome generality. That wisdom without knowledge and knowledge without wisdom only come together with insight. And blindness. I'd say that those 6 aspects, those 3 dualities, would make a shepherd. Standing in their power, centered. Always amidst the flock. Always separately from the flock. There is no separation. All things are in balance. And everything runs smoothly, even in the chaos. Raising one's vibration has everything to do with it. And to raise a person's vibration, it requires tearing down the molds of the world around us, simplifying, redefining, reaching outside of our comfort, and delighting in the comfort that we get. When sometimes the funniest things is like sweeping or mopping or scrubbing. The cleaning is a very powerful karmic dissolution tool. And you could say that every day that's like house cleaning day, or every time, like, the idea is to compress this. But like, say, okay, most people just wash their fish or whatever, but then like going through a routine like a woman would before she goes on a date, but having a routine every day. That these are tower moments. When you get ready in the morning, that's a tower moment. Why be afraid of a tower moment? Those are our defining moments. Sometimes it looks like that, and sometimes it looks like everything's falling apart, which is the beauty in self-care. Such things as tearing down these cards and putting them back together into new orders. Every time we do that, that's a tower moment. But we didn't waste anything, and we gained something. Waste management starts with the same letters as worshipful master. You got to be the head and the ass of your own tail. So I find, I was thinking of it just the other day. Had a video running. It was in the next room, and I remember who was playing too. It was Connected Conduit. She's got a channel, and she just said something about a tower moment in the background. A tower. I was thinking, you know, just from my experience, when I pull cards, I almost, more often than not, always get major arcana cards. Just like 75% of my cards. Always. Almost without fail. Sometimes all of them. Exclusively. It's weird. Well, saying I never get the tower card. Today we get the tower card. But we're in the middle of it. Hey, we're at the peak. And the bottom. Is this an ascent or descent? Because for me, for instance, today, I'm up early. I started this video at, like 5:15. And already ready for the day. And did a bunch of extra stuff. Preparing to make breakfast. So, I got tea. And mission for today is head over to Mom's house here. Maybe a couple hours. I don't know. We'll see what we can do between then. Because I still got to work exercising. But shit, yesterday I did a whole bunch of exercise. And things let go of themselves whenever they're ready. So we're always running uphill both directions. Like, for instance, being like, oh, I didn't get enough sleep because I was up doing whatever last night. So I need an energy drink. You almost never find me with an energy drink. Almost never. Because I know better. From almost the very first one I ever had, it's like crack without the crack. And the side effects without the gain. And you had to pay for it. And there's a lot better drugs out there. But that's not the point. The point is, so then you drink your energy drink and then you're like, yeah, okay, so I'm powering through the morning, But you're like running on, like all that's like draining you, you know, and you're chasing your tail. And the other thing, so like after you work out, 2-3 days later, that's when you're sore. And why are you sore? Because you're healing. So it is going to hurt when you're healing. So sometimes, whether you want more weights on the stack and you want them to carry the energy drink on top of it, or you want to power through it, it's always a battle between the mind and the body. Inside and out, all the time. But ultimately, it's just one stack of weights on one body. And the mind doesn't want to wait. It doesn't wait. At the same time, it's just willing to put everything off as long as humanly possible. So it doesn't have to just do something so simple. Whatever that might be. It's going to avoid that thing till the very end. So it is. While taking the longest path. So if you ever felt like nobody wanted you and you didn't belong, and you weren't meant to survive, the whole world was against you, well, victory is within reach. It's when you have everybody backing you up, everything's going good, and like you were the pick for out of your high school class to be the quarterback for the college that you haven't even gotten to yet, but they're already scouting for you, and you're just like on top of the world. That's when the weirdest shit happens. Boom, goes out with his friends, but he was the one, he doesn't drink. That he was the pride and joy. Like all he wanted to do was to be the best quarterback in the entire world, and just living on the dream. And everyone supported. He never even had a drop of drink in his life. 17 and a half, 18. And then, boom, in the paper the next day. Died in a car accident. Drunk driving incident. But he wasn't the one driving. And both of the drivers were drinking. To be grateful for what you got. And find that one thing. Take all the broken pieces and make them work together to make that work. Because there was no broken pieces. Spirit makes us kick our own asses more than we could kick anyone else's. Because if that was meant to be, then we could beat anyone who wants to be against us just by existing. And sometimes all it takes is smiling, especially when things get tough. So tower on today. The organizer from hell is going to go and get another quarter of my mother's house straightened out. Have a grand one.